August 26, 2025. The date was circled on calendars across the spaceflight world, and all eyes were on Boca Chica. The South Texas sky was heavy with anticipation and anxiety. The air itself seemed to buzz with nervous energy as crowds gathered, hoping for a breakthrough. SpaceX's Starship program was in a tough spot. Years of rapid development had led to this moment, but the stakes had never felt higher. The new Block 2 vehicles, meant to be a leap forward, had instead become infamous for a string of failures. Each test flight seemed to add another chapter to a growing legend of disappointment. The so-called Block 2 curse began with Flight 7, a historic booster catch that briefly lifted spirits, but the upper stage, Ship 33, was lost to fire just moments later. The triumph was short-lived. Flight 8, Ship 34 destroyed by engine mount fires. The pattern of heartbreak continued, each mission ending in flames and frustration. Flight 9, Ship 35 tumbled out of control after a methane tank pressurization failure. The rocket spun helplessly, a stark reminder of how unforgiving spaceflight can be. Even ground tests weren't spared. Ship 36 exploded during a static fire, damaging the Massey's test stand and setting back the whole campaign. The setbacks piled up, and confidence wavered. Each failure brought valuable data, but the public saw only setbacks. The narrative outside SpaceX was one of repeated defeat, not progress. Now, Ship 37 and Booster 16 were on the pad, carrying the weight of the program's future. The pressure was immense. Success could change everything, but another failure might be devastating. Another loss could cripple morale and delay the entire Starship timeline. Engineers, technicians, and fans alike held their breath, knowing what was at stake. SpaceX's build, fly, fail, fix, repeat philosophy was facing its biggest test yet. The company's culture of relentless iteration was being pushed to its limits. Flight 10 wasn't just another launch, it was a chance to break the curse, restore faith in the program, and prove that Starship's promise was still alive. The world was watching, waiting for history to be made. At exactly 6:30 p.m., the launch pad trembled as 33 Raptor engines roared to life in a synchronized ignition, unleashing a torrent of fire and thunder that echoed across the Texas coast. With a surge of raw power, Booster 16 and Ship 37 leapt skyward, climbing through the humid evening air and leaving a trail of brilliance behind. The booster, distinguished by its unique external stringers, powered through the dense lower atmosphere. Despite losing one engine early in flight, the remaining Raptors compensated seamlessly, maintaining flawless thrust and stability. Then came the critical moment, hot stage separation. This maneuver, which had previously been a point of failure, was executed with precision. Ship 37 cleanly broke away while Booster 16 pivoted to begin its return. The boost back burn, a complex maneuver that reversed the booster's course toward the Gulf, showcased SpaceX's growing mastery of reusability and rapid turnaround. Although Booster 16 was not scheduled for a catch this time, it performed a series of experimental landing burns over the ocean, gathering invaluable data for future landings and refining the techniques needed for precision recovery. Meanwhile, Ship 37, now free from its booster, continued its journey into the upper atmosphere, accelerating toward the edge of space with unwavering determination. The ascent and separation were remarkably smooth, an encouraging sign for the entire Starship program, especially after so many setbacks and hard-learned lessons. Every maneuver, from the boost-back burn to the controlled descent, served as a rehearsal for the future, when boosters will be caught mid-air by the launch tower's giant chopsticks, revolutionizing rocket recovery. The near-perfect performance of both stages on this flight restored confidence in the Block 2 design, proving that iterative engineering and relentless testing pay off. For the first time in months, hope and excitement returned to Starbase, as engineers and fans alike looked forward to the next chapter in humanity's journey to the stars. Ship 37's second stage burn was smooth, reaching its target altitude and entering a stable coast, something Block 2 hadn't achieved since Flight 6. The mission's highlight, the first ever payload deployment from a Starship. The payload bay opened, releasing 8 simulated Starlink satellites. Some simulators bumped the door, but the deployment worked, proving Starship's cargo capability. Next, a critical test-in-space engine relight. Ship 37's Raptor fired for 2 seconds, confirming it could restart in microgravity. These successes, coast, payload deployment, and relight, were a trifecta never before achieved in a single Starship flight. Ship 37 had broken the Block 2 curse, and set a new standard for the program. The data gathered would shape future missions, including those for NASA's Artemis program. Flight 10's success was no accident. It was the result of relentless engineering and a willingness to learn from every setback. Each challenge SpaceX faced became an opportunity to innovate, adapt, and push the boundaries of what's possible in rocketry. After Ship 35's loss, SpaceX engineers took a hard look at the methane tank diffuser. They reinforced it on Ship 37, directly addressing the pressurization failure that had doomed the previous flight. This wasn't just a patch. It was a carefully engineered solution informed by data and rigorous analysis. The Ship 36 explosion was another harsh lesson. In response, SpaceX overhauled their handling of composite overwrapped pressure vessels, implementing stricter protocols and improved safety measures. These changes significantly reduced the risk of catastrophic failure during launch, making each subsequent mission safer. When the Massey's test stand was damaged, SpaceX didn't let it slow them down. Instead, they improvised, constructing a makeshift engine test stand right at the pad. This quick thinking kept the test campaign on schedule and demonstrated the team's resourcefulness under pressure. Booster 16's external stringers, though somewhat mysterious to outside observers, likely provided crucial improvements to the rocket's structural margins. These reinforcements helped ensure the vehicle could withstand the intense forces of ascent and re-entry, adding an extra layer of reliability. Every tweak, from hardware upgrades to new procedures, reflected SpaceX's data-driven, iterative approach. The team constantly analyzed flight data, made targeted adjustments, and never hesitated to try new solutions if the evidence pointed that way. The team's adaptability, solving problems on the fly, was as crucial as any hardware fix. Their ability to pivot quickly, brainstorm solutions, and implement changes in real time set them apart in the world of aerospace engineering. These changes paid off. Flight 10 ran smoothly from start to finish, a testament to the power of rapid iteration and teamwork. Every improvement, no matter how small, contributed to the mission's flawless execution. The mission validated SpaceX's philosophy of rapid iteration and learning from failure. Each setback became a stepping stone, and every lesson learned was quickly put into practice. Flight 10 proved that even the toughest setbacks could be overcome with smart engineering, relentless determination, and a team that never stopped striving for improvement. After its space triumphs, Ship 37 began its fiery return, targeting a splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Re-entry is brutal, hypersonic speeds, searing plasma, and a heat shield pushed to its limits. Onboard cameras captured the ship glowing orange, plasma swirling as it plunged through the atmosphere. Ship 37 took damage, a compromised drive skirt and a battered aft flap, but its control systems kept it stable. The ship executed the signature belly flop, using its surface area to slow down before the dramatic flip maneuver. In seconds, it pitched upright, firing its Raptors for a final landing burn. The ship splashed down softly, then tipped and exploded as planned. But it had achieved every test objective: controlled re-entry, flip, and landing burn. Ship 37 proved Starship could survive damage and still land, a huge step for reusability. The mission was a resounding success from launch to splashdown. Ship 37's splashdown was more than a test. It was a turning point for Starship. The Block 2 curse was broken. SpaceX had finally solved the technical issues that haunted the program. Flight 10 restored confidence in SpaceX's rapid, iterative approach and proved Starship's potential. It was a flight of first payload deployment, first in-space engine relight, first full Block 2 mission profile completed. These milestones moved Starship from prototype to a credible launch system. For NASA's Artemis program, Flight 10 was proof that Starship could become the reliable lunar lander America needs. The mission reaffirmed SpaceX's willingness to learn from failure and push boundaries. Every setback, every lost ship, had paved the way for this success. Flight 10 showed that relentless iteration can turn explosive failures into spectacular achievements. With the Block 2 curse lifted, SpaceX is already eyeing the next leap, Starship V3. V3 promises more payload, more thrust, and greater reliability, building on every lesson from Block 2. The next big milestone, catching a super heavy booster with the launch tower's chopsticks, targeted for Flight 13, 14, or 15. A successful catch would make rapid reusability a reality, eliminating ocean splashdowns. To get there, SpaceX must ramp up its launch cadence and refine recovery procedures. The final Block 2 flight, with Ship 38 and a reused booster, will provide more crucial data before V3 takes over. Looking ahead, V4 is already in development, designed to carry humans with life support and safety upgrades. Flight 10's success laid the foundation for all these future milestones. The impact of Flight 10 reaches far beyond Earth. Every test, every fix is a step towards SpaceX's ultimate goal, making humanity multiplanetary. Starship isn't just for satellites or lunar landings, it's built to establish a city on Mars. The first payload deployment and in-space relight were practice for building a Martian outpost. SpaceX plans to send uncrewed starships to Mars as early as 2026, laying the groundwork for human arrivals by 2030. Each successful flight brings that vision closer, making Starship more efficient and affordable. Flight 10 wasn't just a test, it was a promise kept, and a giant leap toward humanity's future among the stars.